Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world, and today we're looking at interpreting graphs. So you can see the first quadrant of the Cartesian plane on your screen. We're not worried about all these other quadrants today. We're only interested in positive x and positive y values. So as normal, the x-axis is the horizontal axis, the y is the vertical axis, and we put arrows on the axes to indicate they're going forever. Now, what is special about the graphs that we're looking at today is that along the x-axis we'll have some measure of time, that could be minutes, seconds, whatever, and along the y-axis, the vertical axis, we have some measure of distance. So we're looking at travel graphs. We're looking at the graphs of someone traveling somewhere. That could be me traveling to work, you traveling on holidays, whatever. So the line indicates how far they've gone with respect to time. So let's say that this was my journey to work. So let's say I started here at the origin and that's my home, and I'm going to work for the day. So what's going to happen is I travel to work, so I'm increasing my distance and time is increasing. So I go like this. That line indicates that I've traveled somewhere. Now, when I get to work, of course, I'm going to stop travelling. I'm not just going to keep on driving and go through the windows of the school and kill a few students. So then what happens is the graph goes horizontal. Horizontal means rest, or in other words, I'm not actually travelling. Time is going on, time is elapsing, but I'm not travelling anywhere. And then at the end of the day, so when work's over, I'm going to go home. So I'm going to go from here, which is work, and then I'm going to go back home. So the line is in the opposite direction to the first one. Okay, so what do we get out of graphs like these? So line like this means we're traveling. Now, if it's a straight line, it means that we're traveling at a constant speed. That means the speed is not increasing or decreasing. In other words, I'm not accelerating. So I might drive home and my car might stay at 40 kilometers an hour. So that's what a straight line means. As I said, a horizontal line means that we're resting. I'm not actually traveling anywhere. Now, we can look at the speed that someone's traveling at by looking at the slope of a line. So when I say the slope, I'm looking at how steep it is. So let's say, for example, that I had a hill. You know that a steep hill is one that goes up a long way. So if I have to travel up a hill that's like that, that's steeper and it's harder to travel than if I had to look up, to travel up a hill that's like that, or one that is like this, which is almost flat, okay? So of the three black lines I've just drawn, this line is the steepest. Another way of saying that is that it has the largest slope. So the idea here is that the more vertical a line is, the more it goes up, the higher the slope. And what does this have to do with travelling? Well, it's not indicating how steep a mountain I had to climb to get to work. We're not interested in that in these graphs. A higher slope means that I have travelled faster. So the more vertical a line is on my distance time graph, then the faster I have travelled. So let's say I'm going to do another graph on this. So if you want to copy down this one, please do so, because I'm about to rub it out, and I'll show you what I mean by speed and slope. So let's say instead of going somewhere like work and then turning around, now I'm just going to keep traveling. So let's say I'm going for a run. Now, because I'm lightning quick, I start off my run from this point here, from wherever I start, really, really fast. So that means that if I draw a line to represent that, it'll be really steep like that. So it's going up a lot. So then, because I'm not as fit as my wonderfully gifted and talented sportsman in year 7, I need a rest. So then there'd be a horizontal line. But because I get a second win, because I'm that awesome, I might run again. But when I start running, unfortunately, I can't keep up to the same pace I did at the start. I'm not as fast because I'm a little tired. So in that case, the line that represents me jogging now would not be as steep. So it might look something like this. Okay, so I run for a bit. Again, I need a bit of a rest. So I rest for a little while and then I start running. But this time I'm going to run really slow because I'm so tired. Okay, so what this graph shows us here, what we can get from this graph just by looking at it, is we can say that from here, when I started, up until the first rest, which happens here, this time here, I was running the fastest, okay, during this time at the start. Now, again, the reason I know that this part of the journey was fastest is because this line here is the steepest. So I now know, because of what I said before, that I took a rest between these times. Okay, so I took a rest because this line here is horizontal. Now, because this here is a line and it's not horizontal, I'm traveling but at a constant speed. So this part of the journey is a constant speed, but because the slope of this line here is not as high as the slope of this line here, it means I'm traveling faster here than here. So this is slower than the first part of the journey. Again, here I took a rest. So from this point to this point in here was a second rest. And then I started running again. This line here, because it's a line, it means I'm traveling at a constant speed. Because it's not horizontal, it means I was actually moving, not resting. So this part here, this line here, is the slowest part of the journey because it is the least steep line. It is the flattest line, if you like. Okay, hope this has all made sense. Please ask if you have any questions. Other than that, this has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.